Have you ever wondered why the kindest people often end up suffering the most? They are the first to help, the first to forgive, the first to apologize even when they did nothing wrong. Yet somehow, they are also the first to be ignored, manipulated, and taken for granted. It almost seems unfair. You would expect kindness to attract kindness, but in reality, it often attracts people who know exactly how to take advantage of it. The shocking truth is that the problem isn't your kindness. The problem is that your brain may have confused kindness with self-sacrifice. And once you understand the psychology behind this, you'll never look at your relationships the same way again. Your brain has one goal that is far older than success or happiness. It wants survival. Thousands of years ago, surviving meant staying connected to your tribe. If the group rejected you, your chances of survival dropped dramatically. That's why, even today, your brain treats social rejection as a serious threat. Every time someone likes you, compliments you, or accepts you, your brain rewards you with chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin. They make you feel safe, accepted, and valued. But this creates a dangerous trap. Slowly, without realizing it, you begin chasing approval instead of respect. Think about the last time someone asked you for a favor when you were already exhausted. Maybe you wanted to say no, but instead you smiled and said yes, not because you wanted to, but because you were afraid of disappointing them. In that moment, your brain wasn't protecting your happiness. It was protecting your acceptance. The short-term relief of avoiding conflict felt more rewarding than standing up for yourself. Unfortunately, every time you ignore your own needs to satisfy someone else, your brain learns that sacrificing yourself is the safest option. Eventually, this becomes your identity. What's even more surprising is that manipulative. People can often recognize this personality within minutes. They don't have a magical ability to read minds. They simply pay attention to behavior. They notice who apologizes too much, who struggles to disagree, who laughs nervously after expressing an opinion, and who constantly seeks validation. Then they begin testing boundaries. It usually starts with something small, a tiny favor, an extra request, a little more of your time. When you agree without hesitation, they learn something important about you. They learn that your boundaries are flexible. And if someone can cross a small boundary without consequences, they'll often try crossing a bigger one next time. This is why psychologists say that people teach others how to treat them. Every decision you make sends a message. If you constantly tolerate disrespect, people assume it's acceptable. If you always answer messages immediately, people expect you to be available all the time. If you never say no, people stop appreciating your yes. Ironically, the more available you become, the less valuable your time appears. Imagine carrying a backpack everywhere you go. Every time you ignore your own feelings, another heavy stone is placed inside. Someone asks you to cancel your plans. Another stone. Someone disrespects you, and you stay silent. Another stone. Someone expects you to solve their problems while ignoring yours. Another stone. Over time, the backpack becomes so heavy that you feel emotionally exhausted. Most people think life is making them tired, but often they're carrying emotional weight that was never theirs to carry. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to set boundaries is guilt. Saying no feels painful because many of us grew up believing that good people always help others, never disappoint anyone, and always put others first. Those lessons aren't wrong, but without balance, kindness slowly turns into people-pleasing. You stop helping because you want to. You help because you're afraid of rejection. That's not kindness. That's fear wearing the mask of kindness. Truly confident people don't try to please everyone. They understand that disappointing others is sometimes necessary to protect their own peace. They know boundaries aren't walls that push people away. They're filters that allow healthy relationships to stay healthy. There's another psychological effect called emotional adaptation. People naturally get used to whatever is always available. The same thing happens with your kindness. When you're always available, always forgiving, and always saying yes, people begin treating your effort as normal instead of valuable. It's not always intentional, it's simply how the human brain works. That's why respect often grows when healthy boundaries appear. The moment people realize your time and energy are limited, they begin valuing them more. Research also shows that people respect those who respect themselves. Self-respect isn't shown through words. It's shown when you calmly say, no. Leave disrespectful situations, and stop chasing people who never appreciate your effort. Perhaps the biggest myth is that kindness and weakness are the same thing. They aren't. Weakness helps because it's afraid of losing people. Kindness helps because it genuinely wants to. Real kindness has boundaries, and real kindness includes yourself. So, the next time someone asks for something that costs your peace, pause before answering. Ask yourself one question. Am I doing this because I truly want to, or because I'm afraid of what they'll think if I don't? At the end of the day, your worth isn't measured by how useful you are or how many people approve of you. The healthiest relationships don't require you to lose yourself to keep someone else happy. Remember, protecting your peace isn't selfish. It's necessary. The relationship you have with yourself becomes the blueprint for every relationship you build with others. And the moment you stop chasing acceptance, you'll discover something far more valuable: genuine respect.